I don't need that.
Neither. I mean, they want a definitive ending to this battle. Randy might be hurt.
It was the matchup that fight fans had all been waiting for. The Iceman versus the Natural. This fight was unanimously overdue for some time now, as it had been 2 years since Randy the Natural had beaten Chuck the Iceman in their first light heavyweight championship title bout. The crowd was electric as the fight kicked off. Well, for about 3 solid minutes anyway. As Chuck caught Randy with a left hook with 3 minutes remaining in the first round, which seemed to daze Randy. Chuck smelled blood as he stormed Randy with a barrage of punches. But Randy was holding his own and began to trade as well. Then it came. A huge right from the Iceman which dropped Randy. Not many could take a punch like that and keep standing. As Randy fell, Chuck rushed over to land a few confirming ground and pound shots, which cemented something he had wanted for years. The UFC Light Heavyweight Championship belt.
Another look at it again.
Boom!
Bang! That was the shot.
Has wanted for so long. He has the title at 205.
Chuck Liddell had been grinding for years before even being known worldwide as the Iceman. Born in Santa Barbara, California, Chuck was raised by his loving mother and grandfather. They were the first solid examples for him, as his mom did everything in the house to take care of him, including work multiple jobs to support the family, while his grandfather began teaching him boxing at a very young age, which would play a crucial role in his life. Initially, Chuck's interest in martial arts began because he was being bullied. He started out in Koikan Karate at age 12 and quickly realized that with everything he was being taught by the martial arts class and his grandfather, he loved the art of fighting itself. While he was at San Marcos High School, he decided that he would join wrestling and football, sports he had a passion for, and these helped to build his athletic frame, his mental toughness, and his affinity for competition. When it came time to choose a college, Chuck decided that he would go to California Polytechnic State University. He continued wrestling at the D1 level, which is the highest level of college athletics. Not only that, but he was actually the captain for the Cal Poly Mustangs wrestling team. Throughout this time, he mainly competed in the 190-pound weight division and saw to it that he was a leader worthy of being listened to. Not only did Chuck have a demanding training schedule, but he also studied business and accounting at this college. Balancing all this, he graduated from Cal Poly with his Bachelor's of Arts degree in Business and Accounting in 1995. Very impressive if you ask me. After graduating, Chuck wasted no time transitioning all he had learned in karate, boxing, and wrestling into becoming an amateur kickboxer. He managed to compile a record of 20-2, with 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout. This record saw him becoming a 2-time amateur national champion, giving him all the confidence in the world to transition once more into mixed martial arts. Chuck Liddell made his UFC debut in 1998 in Mobile, Alabama, a matchup which saw him winning by decision against Noah Hernandez. Fighters at this time would move around and travel a lot for a variety of fighting competitions. A famous one at the time was the International Vale-Tudo Championship. This competition saw top mixed martial artists from all over the world meeting in Sao Paulo, Brazil for a bare-knuckle tournament. Chuck defeated Jose Pele Landy Jones despite being the heavy underdog, overwhelming the fighter with strikes. In his following bout, he lost to Jeremy Horn via submission, but going forward, Chuck knew that he had to work on his weak areas in order to climb the contender ladder, and so he did. Chuck went on a hot streak against UFC top contenders, defeating Kevin Randleman, Murlo Bustamante, Vitor Belfort, Amar Soloev, Jeff Monson, and Renato Sobral. Chuck also fought for Pride, another huge MMA organization at the time, earning a victory over fellow kickboxer Guy Metzger by knocking him out cold. By 2002, Chuck Liddell was a fan favorite and the #1 contender for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. The more fans watched is the more they wanted to see from him. Everyone felt he deserved the title fight against Tito Ortiz, but at the time, Ortiz turned the fight down citing scheduling conflicts. At this point, the UFC felt they had to force Tito's hand, since he was being hesitant in defending the belt. So, they arranged an interim title bout where the winner between Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture would hold the belt. Randy the Natural Couture was another cult favorite. If you knew MMA, you definitely heard of Randy. Randy is one of the greatest fighters to walk this earth and was a 4-time champion in 2 separate weight classes. His dominant background in wrestling and Greco-Roman wrestling was often too much for his opponents, as he slammed them to the floor viciously and usually finished with his elite ground and pound or a submission. With the differences in fight style between the two, spectators and commentators alike expected the majority of the kickboxing to come from Chuck and the technical wrestling to come from Randy. But we were all shocked to see that Randy came out and put on a display of striking that put us all on the back foot. Randy didn't abandon his wrestling either. He took Chuck to the ground continuously, almost effortlessly, forcing the Iceman to scramble back to his feet with his own background in wrestling. Unfortunately for Chuck, Randy came into this fight all too ready for the stand-up, the area in which we thought Chuck would have the upper hand. And deep into the third round, Randy was able to get Chuck on the ground and overwhelm him with vicious ground and pound to win the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship belt.
Standing closely. Couture trying to stop this fight.
Randy Couture is going to stop Chuck Liddell.
The Iceman held his head up, knowing he would get another shot at the title. After the defeat, he entered the Pride 2003 Middleweight Grand Prix tournament as the official UFC representative. He came back from the heavy stand-up of Alistair Overeem and landed a clean overhand punch to send Overeem staggering into the ropes. Chuck then rushed forward with knees and straight rights to knock Overeem out at the end of the first round. Unfortunately, following that display of powerful striking, Chuck suffered a well-fought defeat to fan favorite Rampage Jackson. Liddell started out very strong in the first round, finding his distance early and connecting with hard-hitting shots, but Rampage traded equally damaging blows. Rampage continued to land powerful strikes and was able to get a worn-down Chuck Liddell to the ground and land a barrage of shots. Chuck refused to give up, but his corner saw that he had taken enough damage and threw in the towel. Liddell was still in contention for the light heavyweight title on his return to the UFC. After Randy Couture proved himself by taking the title from Tito Ortiz, a matchup was set between Ortiz and Liddell for UFC 47 on April 2, 2004. As you can imagine, this was a highly anticipated contest. The winner of this contest would go on to fight for the belt once more. Chuck was proving himself all over the world, gaining tough experience, and was ready for this matchup. Tito was another fighter known for his strong wrestling and heavy ground and pound. While the majority of the first round was spent with them feeling each other out, the second round escalated really quickly. Before the round even started, Ortiz pushed the referee Big John McCarthy in an attempt to get him out of the way so he could rush after Liddell. But after the round officially started, Chuck showed that he didn't take the disrespect lightly, as he rushed forward with a flurry of punches, which connected and dropped Ortiz, leading to a TKO victory.
One after another.
Oh, that right hand right there.
Oh, Tito just wilts under the power.
By knockout, the Iceman.
In early 2005, UFC President Dana White decided that Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture would coach teams against each other on The Ultimate Fighter, after which the two would go up against each other once more for the light heavyweight title. It was an excellent season for The Ultimate Fighter. Both fighters who had won in their weight classes, Diego Sanchez and Forrest Griffin, went on to have prestigious careers in the UFC. It was finally time for the rematch that fans have always wanted to see for a long time. At UFC 52, it all came down to the better man on the night once more, as Chuck went up against Randy in another head-to-head fight for the ages. Early in the first, Randy moved in for a punch, but Chuck countered with that huge right to knock him out cold, finally earning him the title of new light heavyweight champion of the world.
By knockout, and now the new UFC undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
The Iceman went on another impressive 4-fight win streak, defending the title each time. His MMA record came up to 21 wins and 9 losses, 13 of those wins coming by way of devastating knockout. As you've probably realized by now, he spent most of his time going up against MMA elites. Some of the names on this illustrious list are Kevin Randleman, Vitor Belfort, Alistair Overeem, Jeremy Horn, and Wanderlei Silva. He went up against Tito Ortiz not only once, but twice, and he went up against Randy Couture not twice, but thrice. Chuck also had a ton of iconic friends and training partners that helped him get to the pinnacle of his career. Some of these included John Hackelman, who is actually the founder of The Pit, which is the gym Chuck trained out of. He was Chuck's head coach and cornerman throughout the entirety of his career. He had teammates like former UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira, and get this, the two men he fought more than once in his career, Randy Couture and Tito Ortiz, were both training partners at one point. While in the end there was a rivalry with Ortiz and tensions between them, Randy and Chuck were the total opposite and had mutual respect for one another. Unfortunately for the Iceman, the battle of life itself held no punches when it came on to his personal life. There were many concerns around the final part of his career, centering around the decline of his chin or knockout resistance. Basically, fans and pundits were worried about how easy it was becoming to knock him unconscious, sparking comments about his overall health. Even President Dana White spoke out about it. There was also a noticeable slur and alteration in his speech and vocal patterns, which cited concerns about CTE. Chuck also faced a few legal disputes regarding his behavior, which intensified the discussion around the issues he may be facing mentally. Throughout the Iceman's entire career, he not only brought new fans into the MMA community, but is also widely recognized as the most dominant light heavyweight champion of his era. With his 21-9 record across his MMA career, 16 of those wins were in the UFC, and 4 of them were back-to-back title defenses against the world's top-flight athletes. His display of technical and pinpoint striking paved the way for an era of aspiring fighters and showed them that maybe one day they could fight on the world's biggest stage. He even appeared in a couple movies and TV shows in unexpected cameos that fans and critics loved. On July 10, 2009, Chuck Liddell was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in acknowledgement of all he did for mixed martial arts. Regardless of the present era and the eras to come, Chuck Liddell will always be remembered for his outstanding dedication to the sport and ushering in a golden era for the fight game all over the world. Alright guys, that was Chuck the Iceman's career. If you guys are day one fans, then you know how influential he was and still is. If you guys like the video, please like the video, and I will be posting weekly, so I would appreciate if y'all hit that subscribe button. I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Peace.